Good morning and welcome to day 75 of Geriatric 1944's Coronavirus Diaries. I think today let's simply deal with music. I'm fed up with the whole COVID-19 hysteria. Although I would recommend, if you go on iPlayer, looking up a BBC News special that they only air in the middle of the night because it doesn't actually fit the media agenda. But it's on South Korea. It's a half-hour programme and it's fascinating with the way they dealt with this essentially trivial virus. It's trivial for most people. South Korea dealt with it in a thoroughly sensible way, socially and medically, and they've had about 250 deaths, which over the period of 3 or 4 months is the way to deal with an infection. But anyway, I urge you to go to BBC iPlayer and look at that. But we wanted to talk about tracks. I've had quite a few calls about my covers of various songs. Indeed, I covered one of my most well-known covers simply because of the way I dealt with it. It was a country and western song, originally by B.J. Thomas, called Hooked on a Feeling. And the original, which was very sort of country and western, went, I'm hooked on a feeling. And I popped it up and gave it a bit of a reggae beat, got some backing singers grunting, ooga jagga, ooga ooga, to give it a hook. And it went on to sell very well, although unfortunately it was covered by a Swedish group some years later. They did call me up and ask my permission, and they did an almost identical cover and released it, and it was huge in America, went to number one for weeks and weeks and weeks, and is constantly played. Made the guy behind it, Bjorn Skifs, I think his name was, a Swedish guy, an absolute fortune. Made me virtually nothing because I didn't write it or publish it. You can't copyright an arrangement, even an ooga jagga, ooga ooga. And the same thing happened with another smash of mine that I recorded and put out under the name of Bubble Rock. From an album called Bubble Rock is Here to Stay. Well, I wanted to show that you could take different types of songs and treat them in a really interesting way. And I took the old Stones song, I Can't Get No Satisfaction, and did that in a sort of country and western style. I can't get no satisfaction. And it sold pretty well. It was a top 30 hit in England. It sold around the world. It did quite nicely. Again, it was covered by a group in Italy called the Tritons, who went to number one and sold millions of copies in Italy of it. And again, I didn't make a penny. It was quite interesting because after I put mine out, I bumped into Mick Jagger, who was an old mate, in Los Angeles, waiting for our cars at the Beverly Wilshire Hotel. We were both staying there. And he said to me, oh, Jonathan, I have to tell you, your version of Satisfaction is the second best recording of it ever, which made me laugh because, of course, he had to say the Rolling Stones version was the best. But what I'd like to play you today is actually the follow-up, which didn't do a thing. And I always thought it was really good. If you've not heard my version of Satisfaction, do check it out. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube and everywhere. But this was my version of Get Off of My Cloud. And I did it in a sort of similar way, but different. And I thought it was really good. But again, like a lot of my tracks, many people disagreed. And it didn't really sell at all. But it is worth playing to you. So, ladies and gentlemen, for you, Get Off of My Cloud by Jonathan King under the name Bubble Rock. See you tomorrow.
Hey, I live in an apartment on the 99th floor of my block. And I sit at home looking out the window, imagining the world has stopped. Then in walks this guy that's all dressed up just like a Union Jack. He tells me I've won 5 pounds if I have his kind of detergent pack. I said,